writing process is an incredibly rewarding experience because it is taking a close look at a child's writing and allowing us, as teachers, to discover and understand what the child knows and has learned. It is a way for children to convey their needs, wants, and emotions through their writing. These scribbles that you are seeing might seem meaningless, but they are not. This is the foundation of all writing, and it is the turning point of how children learn to write.
Hi, my name is Marnie Nieves, and for my research critique for Foundations of Educational Research, I chose the article that was titled Influential Interactions of Pre-Kindergarten Writers. It was co-authored by Brian Kissel, Jane Hansen, Holly Tower, and Jody Lawrence, and this research article was published in the Journal of Early Childhood Literacy in 2011. I selected this particular article because I am a pre-kindergarten teacher and I'm always researching for new strategies that will benefit my students academically. For this particular article, the focus is on writing. Therefore, I wanted new and innovative ways to incorporate a writing structure in my pre-kindergarten classroom. This article is examining the 6 years of ethnographic research in Robin Davis's pre-kindergarten classroom. And in her classroom, these students are writing. They have multiple purposes and audiences for their writing, and they work on it passionately when given time each day to engage in the process. Their writing time is definitely noisy, but they engage in writing that is verbal in process and pictorial in product. And the writing is socially constructed as they rely on each other for support. The voices surrounding their writing events are loud and are valued by the teacher and valued by each other. The article examines the 6 years the researchers spent in Robin Davis's pre-K classroom. First, they provided a theoretical framework that situates writing within a social semiotic that is multimodal and has social intent. Then, the framework showed how students use their interactions during writing to create various written products. They showed that through 3 themes that emerged: interactions that challenge identities, interactions that introduce new possibilities, and interaction that showed how more knowledgeable peers push writers forward. Robin Davis used the method of writer's workshop in her classroom. Writers' workshops can be used in all levels, from pre-K classrooms all the way to college courses, and they're based on the principles that writers learn to write by writing daily for extensive periods of time, talking to other writers, and learning from experts. The teacher's role is to teach developmentally appropriate skills and strategies and to encourage writers to try new techniques within their writing. So they have to be able to listen to the children, confer with them, and introduce them to new possibilities in their writing. So in a student-centered workshop, teachers glean information about what the students know, need to know, and what they want to know, which guides their mini lessons. This reflective stance requires teachers to be facilitators of learning, even in a pre-K classroom where children are only 4 years old. So in a pre-K writers workshop, instruction reflects the needs of young writers, and students often practice basic strategies that writers use, such as revising and editing, but within their own pictorial writing. So drawing is a learning context that facilitates assimilation of new learning tasks, and it seems that picture writing is a cognitive exercise for young children during which they integrate drawing and writing. Teachers who work with the pre-conventional writers must recognize drawing as a cognitive act and scaffold emergent writers as they begin the shift from picture writing to conventional writing. They must be able to acknowledge the intentionality of pre-conventional emergent writers. I'll show you now in a picture how Robin Davis would conduct her mini lessons.
Robin Davis always began her mini lessons with a read aloud. After she was done with her read aloud, Robin would write in her oversized spiral, and the children watched, listened, and interacted with her. With her pictorial writing, the creation was quick, but it took a little longer because the children continually interact with her as she wrote. After she was done with her pictorial writing, she would ask the students, "What do each of you plan to write about today?" As each child stated their decision, anything from cookies to my dad to monster, the child goes to a table of their choice where paper, markers, and other resources are ready for their use.
The findings were based on how the researchers became acquainted with and interacted with the children. Their talk, either about their own writing or about another student's writing, and sometimes both, gave the researchers insight into the roles of the various types of interactions that played into the evolution of their pieces of writing. The researchers observed and occasionally taught alongside Robin as she responded to the talk and text of the children with her many lessons, think alouds, and her conferences. In all cases, her intent was to involve them in interactions that supported what they were doing and to nudge them forward as writers. They became aware of three primary types of interactions that influenced the children: interactions that challenged their identity, interactions that introduced them to new possibilities, and interactions with more knowledgeable classmates. These three findings were the types of interactions that influenced the young writers. The researchers concluded that based on this research, it is clear how interactions amongst pre-K children during writing provide valuable support for young writers. They felt that it was imperative for teachers as well as curriculum developers to understand this idea of how valuable interaction between pre-K students are in the writing process. It is also stated that effective writing classrooms in pre-K cannot be silent ones, and that students use the interactions as a way to develop their knowledge and push themselves forward as writers. Pre-K teachers should make room for writing instruction to go beyond tracing letters and writing names. It must extend beyond convention and form to include purpose, audience, and genre. I agree with these findings that students should be able to write beyond tracing letters and writing their names. There should be more depth and understanding when they write, by having effective writing classrooms that provide pre-K students to connect, explore, and understand. As I read over this research article, I thought about possible changes that would be even more beneficial to the study of the influential interactions of pre-kindergarten writers. I know that with ethnographic research, only one particular environment is observed, and in this case, it was only Robin Davis's pre-kindergarten class. I would have liked to change that and possibly see another classroom that was also using writers' workshops in a pre-K classroom. I feel it would have shown a better picture to see how the use of writers' workshops would compare and contrast in a different classroom environment. I also would have liked to change the time frame for this research. I feel, in my opinion, it was too long to conduct a research when instead the time could have been used to research other pre-K classrooms. This is the first time that I have ever really gone through the process of finding a research article and had the chance to critique one. But I feel that this research article was very well written and structured. I really like the idea of researchers going into Robin Davis's pre-kindergarten classroom and observing the students and how they interact in their natural setting. I really enjoyed this research and it's something that I would definitely try to implement in my classroom to see the endless possibilities of how my students' writing could change and evolve. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation based on the research article of the interactions of influential writers in pre-kindergarten. Thank you for watching.